Hello, this is MOONCHILD chemistry video. In this video, I'm going to read about this book which is called as Quantum Physics for Scientists and Technologists, Fundamental Principles and Application for Biologists, Chemists, Computer Scientists and Nanotechnology. The author of this book is Paul Sanjera. Let's read about this because from this book we are going to understand basic concept of chemistry in the root levels from the root level. In this book the author has made an effort that not only physics but non-physics background student also can understand the basic of quantum, and from that the advanced level where the application is done in almost in all field of science. Let's have a look. Paul Sanjera is a senior research scientist in Financials Inc., former research scientist at CERN and Cornell. As we are well known about CERN, CERN, that CERN is a place where the God particles has been discovered. The book is published under Wiley, a John Wiley and Son Inc. publications. Here is the content. Here we can understand by glancing it that some basic level of physics is being introduced in the first chapters, classic physics mostly. So we can understand how the quantums has this subject has been emerged. Then here particle 2 in the chapter 2, particle behavior of a wave, where black body radiation, photoelectric effect, quantum scatterings has been often we heard uh, when when we come when we comment when we start to learn about quantum, we often had heard about these concepts. Then wave behavior of a particle. The most famous is the de Broglie hypothesis and uncertainty principle. Then after that, anatomy of atom. Then quantum mechanics principle formalism, anatomy and physiology of an equation, quantum mechanics of atoms, quantum mechanics of many electron atoms, quantum mechanics of molecule, statistical quantum mechanics. Here in this chapter, quantum mechanics is reached to the higher level. Means in statistics, thermodynamics concept up to the statistical thermodynamics had been reached. Then quantum mechanics, a thread runs through it all. Now and then it's at the last the chapter is about the application, and we often had hear about this field which is quite prominent, that is nanoscience, nanotechnology. Then buckyballs, carbon nanotubes, we often had heard about it. Then some new concepts, the concepts which has used quantum mechanics in practical way and it has emerged in reality, that is nanocrystals, quantum dots, quantum mechanics for nanostructure, favoring balls and tubes, fruits of quantum confinement, and then microelectronics, semiconductors, basic of microchips. We know that how much semiconductor has helped currently for advanced technology, and then another also useful in biology like nanostructure of life, dogma of molecular central dogma of molecular biology, size of biological particles, divine deeper in the cell with quantum mechanics. And then here the chapters ends at 11th chapter, which is all about the application of quantums in the real world. Here author about acknowledge about everyone who had helped him to make this book useful for all field of people and the layman. Now we must know about the background of author. Dr. Paul Sanjera, an educator, scientist, technologist, and entrepreneur, has a diverse background in major fields on which nanoscience and nanotechnology is based, including physics, chemistry, biology, computer science, and maths. He holds a PhD in physics from Carleton University, Canada, a master's degree in computer science from Cornell University, USA, and BSc from India, with triplet major physics, chemistry, and maths. So he is from India. He has authored and co-authored more than 100 research papers on the subatomic particle of matter, published in a well-reputed European and American research journal at the world-class laboratories such as CERN in Europe and Nuclear Lab at the Cornell. He has participated in designing and conducting experiments to test the quantum theories and models of subatomic particles. His current research interests involve topics in biotechnology, biochemistry, and molecular biology. In computer science, Dr. Sanjera has contributed to building such world-class technology as Netscape, Communicator, and Novels NDS. As an engineer manager, he has been at the ground floor of the several startups. A former lecturer at San Jose State University, he has taught a wide spectrum of course at the institution all across the globe, including India, Canada, and the United States. Dr. Sanjera is the author of several best-selling books in the field of science, technology, and project management. He lives in Silicon Valley, California. Then here's a periodic table, and here is some values of some value parameters, and then here's importance combination of physical constant. Here the preface. Science and technology, quantum physics, mind the gap. I try to complete this as soon as possible because author at the first preface says that how the science has been emerged from natural philosophy to physics, and to physics several branch of science has been emerged, like three secrets of nature, from nature philosophy to physics. Physics the most fundamental science, quantum physics the science of the molecular age. Why this book? In this book, Back to the Future, here author has said explained that physics is a first step to learn about a science. If you're learning about a science, the first step is physics, because from that subject a various field of science like chemistry, biology, nanotechnology, and several other subjects has emerged from this. Here I had highlighted, so we must complete this as soon as possible without any delay. Theory of electric and magnetic force into single theory of force called electromagnetic force, and was another great faith in physics and classical theory of electromagnetic space on this unification. Gravitational EM, weak nuclear and strong nuclear forces. This may be unity enough, but the attempt to discover further unification continued, and there is a great scientific evidence that even these four forces are different low energy manifestation of a single force that was in action at the very beginning of the creation of the universe. This history of unifications of forces is intertwined with the history of covering and understanding the smaller and smaller building blocks of matters. Physicists and chemists discovered that all material around us are made of smaller components called molecules. The molecules are made of even smaller components called atoms, and atoms in turn are made of yet smaller constituents called neutrons. Proton electron physicists have probed neutron, proton and have discovered that they are made of even smaller and more fundamental particle called quarks. Then he had said about the CRN. For example, the colossal collider at the particle physics lab at the CRN near Geneva, Switzerland would not be possible without the capability of tracking particles of the precision of micrometer and microsecond provided by this technology, which itself is based on physics. So the author has shared his experience at CRN. Ironically, when we had less information knowledge than we have today, it appeared as if one person could know everything, and there was only one discipline called natural philosophy, the study of nature and the physical universe. Today's physics is actually the modern versions of natural philosophy. Let me tell you that this video is in bilingual. This video is bilingual, so I will explain this both in Hindi and English. Now, as I told you at the first phase of this video, that authors tells about the science was known as early as natural philosophy, and today whichever field we hear about, physics, chemistry, chemistry, biochemistry, molecular biology, all these are the modern version of philosophy. पॉल संजेरा, इन्होंने अपना एक्सपीरियंस शेयर किया है CRN लैब में, और उन्होंने ये कहा है कि साइंस जो है उसे पहले नेचुरल फिलोसफी कहा जाता था. पहले फिज़िक्स, केमिस्ट्री, बायोलॉजी ऐसा कुछ भी कहा नहीं जाता था, नेचुरल फिलोसफी सब्जेक्ट कहा जाता था. आज हम जो भी फील्ड सुन रहे हैं, जैसे फ़िज़िक्स, हम फिज़िक्स के बारे में सुनते हैं, ठीक है, तो वो नेचुरल फिलोसफी का मॉडर्न वर्जन है. नेचुरल फिलोसफी रिफर टू द स्टडी ऑफ नेचर एंड द फिजिकल यूनिवर्स. नेचुरल फिलोसफी का मतलब है नेचर और फिजिकल यूनिवर्स का स्टडी. Then the word science simply means knowledge, and the title scientist did not exist. For centuries, scientists were called natural philosophers, and these practitioners often pursued a wide variety of interests. A remnant of that heritage is a doctorate in physics or other science, which is still called a PhD, and is an abbreviation for Doctor of Philosophy. The title of Isaac Newton's scientific treatise published in 1687, commonly known as Principia, is called the mathematical principle of natural philosophy. So it is not a coincidence that long established chair of natural philosophy at the older universe are currently occupied largely by physics professors. The connection between physics and other disciplines of science can be understood from the fact that all other fields of science are historically developed from natural philosophy or its descendant during the 14th and 15th century. The term natural philosophy was refers to what is now called physical science. ऑथर ने कहा है कि पहले साइंस वर्ड्स का मतलब था नॉलेज. कोई भी इंसान का टाइटल साइंटिस्ट ऐसा कोई एग्जिस्ट करता ही नहीं था. तो पहले के सेंचुरीज में साइंटिस्ट को नेचुरल फिलोसोफर ऐसा कहा जाता था, जो प्रैक्टिस करते थे बहुत सारे वैरायटी ऑफ इंटरेस्ट में. फिर आता है डॉक्टरेट इन फिज़िक्स और दूसरा साइंस, जिसे पीएचडी कहा जाता है, जिसका मतलब है डॉक्टर ऑफ फिलोसफी. इसैक न्यूटन का जो साइंटिफिक ट्रीटीज जो पब्लिश हुआ 1687 में, उसे कॉमनली प्रिंसिपियम कहा जाता है. और उस प्रिंसिपिया को बोलते हैं मैथमेटिकल प्रिंसिपल ऑफ नेचुरल फिलोसफी. मतलब वी कैन से द मैथमेटिक्स प्रिंसिपल ऑफ फिजिक्स बिकॉज ओके. सो इट्स नॉट इन तो ये सभी पुरानी यूनिवर्सिटी में ये ऑक्यूपाई हुआ है. फिज़िक्स और दूसरे साइंस के सब्जेक्ट्स जो है वो समझ में आते हैं साइंस से और डेवलप होता है. सभी जो फिज़िक्स या साइंस के जो फील्ड वो नेचुरल फिलोसफी से आया है. ठीक है, 14 to 15 सेंचुरी में नेचुरल फिलोसफी को फिज़िकल साइंस ऐसा दूसरा नाम दिया गया था. और आज भी हम इसे फिज़िकल साइंस या फिज़िक्स कहते हैं. फिज़िक्स इज़ द मॉडर्न वर्जन ऑफ नेचुरल फिलोसफी. हमारा फर्स्ट चैप्टर यहाँ से हमारा क्वांटम मैकेनिक्स का रूट लेवल से ये स्टार्ट होता है. And we will learn more about this in next video.